Alright, so reviews and more. Let's jump right into this fragrance review. This one ended up being for my wife because I'll be frank with you, when I went to Burlington and saw there was something called Rua from Paris Corner, I looked it up online. There was not a Fragrantica entry for it, and I kind of had to go by Amazon listings and stuff. And at first I was like, oh, this will be mine, so I grabbed it because it was a unique box, and I was like, it's the only one that Burlington had. It was $24 for 100 ml. It was extrait de parfum, so very intense on the amount of perfume oil in it. And I was like, let's give it a shot. Let's see what's going on with it. Ends up being in theory, a twist or inspired by of Parfums de Marly Delina Exclusif. That pink bottle with the twin pink tassels is very, very famous, very, very high seller in that niche brand. That's what this is kind of going for. So, but this one's $24. So, first of all, the first thing I got to tell you is this thing is powerful. There is a lot of fragrance oil on this. It leaves a sheen on your skin, so be careful spraying on your clothes, and one spray will do you, and it will last. I sprayed this on a sheet of paper, which is what I normally do, and then I put the paper aside so I can come back later and smell it to see how long it lasts just being out on paper. And 2 days later, it was a nice, beautiful smell of rose and vanilla. However, my wife hated this. My wife hates this because of the rose. She is not a fan of rose. There was nothing on the packaging that said, hey, this is a rose heavy scent. I kind of figured it out when I saw the cap, because the cap itself has a rose on it. But the biggest thing you'll need to know about this is it's rose intensive, which makes sense based on what it's a twist off of with Parfums de Marly. So there's the actual bottle itself. Very, very nice presentation. Looks good. A little gaudy on the sticker on the front. Not a big fan of just putting stickers on the front of bottles, but you know, it is what it is. They want to show off their brand. Got the two tassels again, kind of paying some kind of, just kind of making it a little more obvious. They're trying to dupe Parfums de Marly, Delina. So that's what they're going for here. There's the rose. It sprays just fine. Nothing to write home about the atomizer. It's a decent atomizer, does the job. But again, this thing puts out a lot of fragrance in a very, very small amount of liquid. So one spray really does fill the room. So if you are someone who enjoys rose with that opening pear and lychee fruit kind of thing got going on, you'll like this. And again, the opening notes are very similar to Delina. You're going to get a lot of pear. That's what I picked up the most of. Also the lychee fruit and a few other things. The dry down is going to be where it's at. The rose comes out really strong after about 15 minutes. The opening notes of pear and some of those citruses kind of take over in the beginning, and then that dry down really is primarily going to be a whole lot of rose and a lot of vanilla. So you get like a sweet rose vanilla by the time it's all said and done. But just keep in mind, it's very, very strong. So if you're someone who is sensitive, like gets headaches from fragrances, steer clear of this. You will not have a good time. If you're someone who's like, hey, I can bathe in it and I don't care, that this will probably work for you. The smell, in my opinion, is very, very nice, and it smells very high quality. However, again, the person who'd be wearing this in my life would be my wife, and she does not like rose. And this was kind of a blind buy just to see what the heck it was from Paris Corner, because I couldn't find much about it, and I found like 3 different versions of the note breakdown. They were all different. Finally found the right one when I was able to actually smell it myself and go, okay, it's this, this, and this, because I could just pick it out myself. But again, you're going to get an opening notes, this kind of fruity, citrusy kind of thing going on. A lot of pear. That's what I really picked up the most. Think like Ultramale, that kind of smell. That pear opening, and then you get a beautiful rose and vanilla kind of combo on the dry down. Nothing wrong with the fragrance. It's just, if you don't like rose, don't touch it. If you don't like intense perfumes, don't touch it, because again, this thing is strong. You could spray this. You could anything you spray this on, like paper, it could almost turn into an air freshener because it lasts so long. Again, 2 days later, I could smell the rose and the vanilla fragrance on the dry down on a sheet of paper that had been just out and about, being walked around with and moved around. I think I actually took it to someone's house to smell it after a while, brought it back, still smelled. This thing goes and goes and goes. You will get your 8 hours of wear out of this, barring you taking a very scrubby shower. So other than that, that is my whole review of it, guys. It's a good item for the price, and if it's the note breakdown you want, go for it. But keep in mind how strong it is.